Hey everyone, welcome back to the JavaScript course. So in this video, we'll be exploring about the object methods inside of JavaScript. And if you find this interesting, let's get started right away. So in this video, we'll be exploring about the object definitions inside of JavaScript. So inside my VS Code, I've opened up my index file, my style.css file, as well as my script.js file. So there is some basic boilerplate code present inside my index file and some basic styling given to the style.css file and a basic console.log text inside my script file. Okay. So now let's start exploring about the object definitions inside of JavaScript. So in the previous videos, we have explored about what an object is. So essentially in JavaScript, everything is an object, right? So we know that the Boolean values are an object, okay, inside of JavaScript, and of course the numbers are considered to be objects inside of JavaScript. Then we have pretty much the objects which are always considered to be object inside of JavaScript, and then we have the arrays which are also considered to be object inside of JavaScript, and then we have basically the date methods, okay, which return a date object, and that is also considered to be objects inside of JavaScript. Okay, so these are some of the things that are the objects inside of JavaScript. So essentially the objects can be defined as okay, so they are basically the key value pairs that are present. Okay, so which is gonna look like this. So let's create a basic student object. So we write the object name, okay, and we equate it to a curly braces like this, and inside our curly braces we are going to write basically the key value pairs. Okay, so let's say the key is going to come towards the left side and the value is going to come towards the right side. Okay, so for the first key we are writing name and we are giving the value as going to be John. Okay, so name is going to be John, and let's keep this as first name. So first name, and this is going to be a last name. Okay, so let's keep this Doe. Okay, so John Doe. So basically inside the student object we have two key value pairs, basically the first name and the last name. Let's also add another one, that is age of, let's say, 20. So basically you have created a student object containing three key value pairs from line number 11 to 15 basically. Okay, so now we'll be trying to access. We have already looked into this. So the way to access is by making use of the dot operator or the square brackets as well. So console.log, let's access the student dot first name and pretty much give it some space like this, and we're gonna say student dot last name. Okay, so yeah, let's remove the student.age, that's not required for now. So save the file. So this dot operator is going to access student.first name, that is John, and then it's going to give some space to it, and then after that it's going to access the student.last name, that the value is going to be Doe. So inside the console we should be seeing John Doe, right? Yeah, so there you go, we are able to see John Doe in the console. So that's the way we access basically the values of the objects, right? So now there is another method that we can do, that is basically student of, we're going to write the what do you say, the square brackets, and after writing square brackets, as soon as I write the double quotes, basically you're going to get the keys, okay, for to access. So let's say I want to access the first name again, and we're going to give in some space like this as we have done previously, and after that we're going to say again plus, we're going to say student, and again as soon as I write the square brackets and I write the double quotes, okay, you should be seeing all the suggestions giving. Okay, that is basically for the key values that is present. Okay, so let's say we want to access the last name for now. Okay, so again in this case we should be seeing John Doe, right? So let us save the file once. Let's come back to our console. Yeah, so for the second line also we are getting John Doe. So that's one of the way to access again the object values inside of JavaScript. Okay, so the next thing we look into is basically, so let's also access the age part. So it's gonna be student of, let's say, age. So we should be seeing 20 in the console. Yeah, there you go, that part is working fine. So now we'll be looking into the basically object methods inside of JavaScript. Object methods in JavaScript. Okay. So basically object methods in the sense for a particular key, if there is a function definition for that particular key, then that is known as an object method in JavaScript. So let's look into that first. So we're going to say const let's say any object name. So const value equals to, you're gonna say first name, and let's keep it John, and we're gonna say last name. Okay, we're gonna keep it John Doe again. So let's comment this out, or let that be itself. So again, let's keep the age attribute 24. So let's say we have another attribute that is get name. So if for any key we have a function definition, then that is pretty much known as the object method, right? So we're gonna define a function over here for the get name. So basically what we're gonna do here is we're gonna say return, we're gonna say this dot name, give some space, okay, like this, and we're gonna access this dot last name. Okay, so this should be this dot first name, not just this dot name. So this dot first name. Okay, so basically this keyword refers to the object that basically the function is a property of. Okay, so basically what happens is the value of this keyword is dependent on the object that is basically invoking the function, right? So that's the way this keyword works. So let's understand this. So let us firstly access the value whatever we get. Okay, we're gonna say console.log, we're gonna say value, and we're going to access the function, right? So that is get name. Okay, so basically as I told, so this keyword refers to the object that the function is a property of. Okay, so what happens over here is the value object is invoking the get name function. So over here this keyword will refer to the value object and not to the window object, right? So if you just console.log get name, I mean we are accessing this get name function, so basically it should return us this dot first name and then this dot last name. So we should get the value as John Doe inside our console. Okay, so let's check that out. So after the age, okay, we're getting undefined Doe because I think there is a spelling error. Return this dot first name. Okay, so this is given as just first name, so let's make it first name. Let's save the file. Let's come back to our console. Yeah, so now we are able to see John Doe. So let's again look into this keyword in a specific way. So let's come over here. We are going to say function name. Okay, and we're going to say console.log of just this. Okay, so here let's see what we are gonna get in the console, because over here this is actually referring to the main window object, because there is no kinds of object over here that is invoking the function. So let's save the file. So inside the console we should pretty much see the window object. Yeah, so there you go, we can see the window object because it is so the function is basically invoked in the window object. So that's the reason we are able to see the window object inside of our console. Okay, if you console.log this value. So again there are different kinds of ways to create the object. So one is by creating object literal. Okay, and other is of course by making use of the new object method. Okay, so this is also one of the way to create objects inside of JavaScript. And another is by just equating. So let's say we just equate const person equals to this empty object, and we're going to provide the values for that. Okay, we're going to say person dot name equals to so and so. Okay, so person dot name, so let's write that correctly, person dot name equals to some value, and person dot age equals to some value. Okay, and so on. So that's the way we create objects inside of JavaScript, and we have looked into this inside our previous video, so we'll not be looking into that now. So I think we explored about how we can pretty much access the object methods. That is basically if for any key there is a function definition as such over here, and we're returning this dot first name dot last name, and by the value, so of course this value refers to this object over here, because this object is actually this object is actually invoking the get name function. Okay, so that's the reason we're going to access this dot first name and then this dot last name, and finally we getting John Doe in the console. Okay, so that's the way this the object methods work inside of JavaScript. And I think that's it for this video. Let's see you in the next video, and then thank you for watching.